Thanks for staying with us. So jubilation in Ekweremadu's hometown yesterday after return of his wife Beatrice from the UK prison. As you recall, in March 2023, on March 23rd, the court had found Ekweremadu, his wife Beatrice, and their doctor Obina Obeta guilty of trafficking a trader from Nigeria to the UK to harvest his organ, a crime under the United Kingdom Modern Slavery Act 2015. The jury held that they conspired to bring the 21-year-old to London to exploit him for his kidney. But yesterday she returned. I think it's been 6 years. And of course, she was received with quite a bit of jubilation. I just wanted to hear your reactions to that, because many people on social media were saying different things, but we're happy to have her home. But let me come to you, ladies. What do you think about the jubilation when she arrived?
That's a very tough question. Maybe the family gives out handouts to them, or have been giving handouts to them. That's why they're happy that they're back. It's within their rights, but I think we need to be more circumspect in this part of the world. When our leaders serve jail sentences, and I don't know about Ekweremadu, if he was, I don't know. But I'm giving the example of like Ibori, and people were jubilating. I think,
let me see,
you know, yes, we are encouraging bad behavior. We are celebrating criminal action. We are celebrating, you know, so we have drawn the line. You know, we
blurred the line.
We've blurred the line. That's the right word. We've blurred the line between
what's right and what's wrong.
You know, so as long as I'm giving you out money, even if it's your own money that I've stolen, you will jubilate when I come out of jail. It's I don't. For me, I mean, I'm happy she's out, because I didn't even feel she should have gone in the first place.
Yes.
But I think that the jubilation is not in order.
Okay.
That's I think it is. You know, we celebrate or do Thanksgiving for a lot of things that don't really make sense. But this woman, for the love of a child, has had to suffer dearly. You know, there's still bloodlines around the details of that matter. According to them, they had arranged against British law. If they had done it here, people are constantly selling toes, selling in Africa, selling organs in Africa. If they had done it here, the details would not have constituted a crime. But they did it against the law of Britain, and it constituted a crime because all he needed to do was seek an asylum and say that he was forced. But tickets were bought, he traveled, and they didn't show, you know, slavery or chains and everything. So there are bloodlines around this arrangement. And we understand that the child was on a deathbed requiring an organ. It was a sick child that required an organ. And the parents, we all criticize them for not being able to separate the sentiments at the time. But who can as a parent, really? You know, and then they got him there. And so the circumstances around this particular crime, I will not agree that it's the same around an Ibori's crime or an Alamesia's crime, who outrightly robbed their people of their money. These people were spending their money in a personal arrangement with one individual that, you know, turned out wrongly for them. And the consequence was there for them because they went to jail. Ekweremadu himself is still in jail right now.
If his family got 10 years, I think she got 6 years.
Yeah, so if his family people were to see him today, I'm sure that they'll roll out the pots. And thank God that, you know, he did not die there for the sake of that child. Every kind of emotion. I remember one of their child had to have their wedding away from their parents. This family has been tried. So whatever they call their Thanksgiving reason is valid for them.
Okay. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm more on the side, you know, I agree more with Ike. I see how, you know, if this celebration was done intimately at home, I understand it and I get it. You know, whether we like it or not, we all come from different families. Even the most hateful human being in this world comes from a family. There's a mother and father that love them, siblings, you know. And so in times where they feel that they have succeeded at something, however the world views it, because of that love, they would, you know, show it. But what I'm uncomfortable with is the circumstances surrounding why they were jailed in the first place. And I think that morally, it wasn't right what they did. When the Ekweremadus were incarcerated, I thought that, you know, I know people, there was this, it was quite delicate whether or what they did was for the love of a child, but I also saying that the donor or the person who would have been donor is also somebody's child, you know, but was vulnerable because of poverty or anything. They were willing to give money to take that person's organ. So for me, I think morally what they did was wrong. It shouldn't have been done. And then legally, as we know, the country that they tried to do it is a crime, and they had to face, you know, the actions. And I remember that the conversations I asked them was, so where do we stand morally and legally in Nigeria concerning issues like this? Is it okay for us, if you have the money, to pay anyone who is willing, vulnerable, however their circumstances are, as long as I have the money to pay someone, is that okay to pay someone for an organ? Because we can. I morally don't think that is right. You know, there has to be, the process is, you know, if someone has given up the ghost and has donated their organ, or someone in the family, and it's not for money, as long as it's not for money. The fear is that if it's for money, it becomes also a trade where we have like you know, it deteriorates into organ marketing and all the things that we have.
But so the reality, Mariam, is that it happens.
Yeah, it may happen. So for me, that celebration should have been kept private. You know, for coming back, the mother of a child has come back, she suffered for her child, but to have it public, I thought it was send the wrong message.
I wanted to just say something. You see, with all these people, you see, there's no medical system here. Our leaders carry themselves abroad. Anytime they are sick, they are going to one hospital abroad or the other. We cannot afford it. God forbid if I get sick today. This is where, unless people donate money and carry me, this is where I will have to collect my treatment, and God help me. Because I don't have that kind of money. These people have that kind of money. Well, Ekweremadu, as far as I know, has been in power. He was a Senate president or Senate leader or something.
Yeah.
They could have put measures. If they put measures to make, look, say hospital, 82 days, no lights. 82 days.
Premier hospital.
UCH, College of Ibadan. I mean, the doctors in Abuja are on strike at the moment. And every time a leader is sick, they get to, and wait to, and then anything happens, they will be hailing them and jubilating here. Why are we jubilating? I don't understand.
So I see your point, Auntie. Wale, I do. You know, it shouldn't be. The girl was on life support in what's the name of the hospital in London? It was a public hospital system they were using. It was not a private hospital in London. So why can't our public hospitals function like that? Can somebody have kidney failure at any general hospital in Nigeria? Even Lagos, that is advanced among states, can you try it to be on dialysis in Nigeria? Is it possible? You have to pay through your nose for it. People do, but they pay through their nose.
But they are paying.
They pay through their nose for it. Because after it, you have to have a blood transfusion, a lot of details.
But you see,
so I get the point. But I wanted
another conversation.
No, I wanted to respond to the fact of the celebration. Now, we must accept that in Nigeria, it's still possible for me to choose to sell an organ of mine.
Exactly.
It's a matter of choice. Whereas abroad, those kind of sales have been flagged off as transactions that should not happen because it is possible to take advantage of somebody for money. But where we are in Africa, I don't know any law that says that I cannot willingly offer something that belongs to me, including personal organs of mine.
Because I know of families who have carried somebody to India to collect organs because they both agreed.
And they make money off of it. Husband and wife will sit down and discuss, it's your own we are giving. The parents will discuss, it's your child's own we are giving. Those transactions, honestly, sincerely, are abusive of vulnerable people. Miriam is true on that. But what is obtainable here is different. So when a person now voluntarily enters into that transaction with them, as in without coercion, without duress, voluntarily on his own says, I want to do this. This is what I'm going to get. They negotiated money. It's not like they drag you by rope. But as soon as you reach UK, the dynamics of it are to change. they also then become vulnerable because they are in desperate need to save the life of their child. It's just not a fair arrangement for either party for me.
Okay, so in Nigeria, is it a conversation, is it a policy that we have, or is this just assumed?
So I think, I don't think there's a
laws,
proper law, because even the issue of surrogacy, we're still trying to get those laws, because people are saying, I need you to help me have my children. So these are things that we see abroad. We're going to do it here, but now we have to have laws that can either back it up or support it.
So because in the UK, they have laws, and the reason is because they have sat down, they have had conversations about it, and the impact or the effect of allowing it to be cash for organs, and the negative impact it can have, taking advantage of vulnerable people. So a country sat down, looked through it, studied it, discussed it, and came up with policies. We had one of our leading political persons locked up in jail, still locked up in jail. His wife, in jail for 6 years. The whole thing went on for it was such a scandal that we heard about it. And we still haven't had a conversation about it. We still haven't come up with policies about what should be done in a country where people are killing their family members and girlfriends and boyfriends to sell organs. We're still just talking about it and making it about feelings or moral or it's acceptable in our country or not acceptable. I mean, this is a huge... this is just unacceptable, really. And that is why, for me, that celebration, as acceptable as it may be or legal as it may be, I think is morally wrong. It sends a bad message. And I hope that when we start to have the conversation as a country concerning organ donation and selling of organs, please, it cannot be that people can just go up to, rich people can go up to poor people and buy organs. This our country, given all the circumstances that we have, all the issues that we have, will be very dangerous to do that.
Okay, so I completely agree with you on, why we're still sleeping on this, emerging danger around us, if we are not already even in the danger. But this celebration that we're talking about is going public. These were not caught by news cameras. This was caused by family members, amateur camera. And because of the magnitude of it, doesn't mean it wasn't within family. We're talking of a community, family where you have cousins, extended families, people who have, So I'm not an advocate for the Ekweremadus. I just understand that everybody was vulnerable at the time of this agreement. And this kind of transactions in Nigeria is still guided by agreements. So we did not even see a book at the end of the day. If you want to have a surrogate mothers, we have lawyers now drafting and using, sample copies from abroad to draft proper agreements so that everybody's interest
But these are new things people are doing. So it is happening, but we just need to do it legally.
We'll have precedence over it over time.
Let me go on a short break. We have to go on a very short break. When we come back, we take a few phone calls and come and stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.